she was doing a documentary on just her life and her business ventures. And one night she said to the directors, I'm sorry, I'm really tired. I just couldn't sleep. I have really bad insomnia from some PTSD. She said, well, what do you mean, Paris? And then she said, I don't want to talk about it. And kind of shut down like she had for 20 years because I never talked about her experience. And that director, Alex Dean, kudos to her, did a little research and realized that Paris had gone to these schools. And so she got Paris to open up for the first time at, the physical, the sexual, kind of all the abuse that happened at these schools. And, I'll never forget, it was during COVID. There was a live YouTube screening of her documentary, and she was just shaking and crying, not knowing how the world was going to react to her sharing her truth. And by the end of it, she was just overwhelmed by all the support, all the people that said, I had that same experience. And she started getting thousands and thousands of letters and emails and DMs from people who had gone through these schools. About 250,000 a year go through this $23 billion industry. So it's been going on for 25, 30 years, so millions and millions of people. And then, it was fun. She said, I just can't not talk about this. I can't let this happen to anyone today.
Yeah.
And she always says, I need to at least try to be the hero that I needed when I was in these schools. And it's been, yesterday was such a proud moment because it wasn't handed to her, right? During COVID, she went through a 12-week legislative incubator called RISE, where for 12 weeks you learn how to pass a law. And she showed up every day on Zoom and did that. And then, we just started brick by brick. And, I always use the analogy, most people, whether it's seeing a bill passed or whether it's a startup that ends up being successful, they say, oh my God, that's so cool, right? And it's like a bonfire. It's raging, it's doing well. But my experience has always been that the way you get there is not putting lighter fluid on something and lighting a match. It's starting these little fires, and these little fires within the bonfire, and all of a sudden you get to this eventual conclusion. And so, she's fought for 3 years. She's showing up at DC probably 4 to 5 times a year, met with hundreds of legislators, done hundreds of media interviews. And so it has definitely been the most healing journey of her life. If I think about my wife, I think she's probably been underestimated for too long, underestimated as the businesswoman she is, underestimated for her marketing ingenuity. And I think, if I look back, being intellectually honest, the first time she went to DC, they said, oh, that's cute. Paris Hilton showed up. But then she showed up again and again and again. And they realized she wasn't going to stop, right? And that's what I love about my wife. Whatever her dreams are, whether it's advocacy, a new album 18 years after the first, she has her dreams. She's unapologetic about those dreams, but she works hard to achieve those dreams. So everyone sees, oh my God, you did it. But what they don't see, like, you hear a lot of basketball players or athletes say, no one talks about the 5 a.m.s at the gym when I was shooting free throws time and time again. And so just so proud of her. I think more importantly, this specific bill gives oversight to the entire industry, and she'll sleep better going forward, knowing hopefully children don't have to go through what she went through,
Yes.
because it's been happening for decades.